All right, got another one. Tell you what, man, I've had a heck of a turnaround here. I was having a hard time, and luck just changed. This makes 5 that I've killed in the last 5 days, and tell you what, it sure is nice. It don't always happen like that. But I came in here this morning and sat up on a old dim road. Robert was in here scouting, I think the day before yesterday, and he came walking down this road right here. It's not 50 yards behind me right here. He saw what he said was probably about a 130-inch buck working a scrape, and just a little bit, he let that deer ease on off into the woods, and he said just a second he saw an 8-point pop out and ease through here. So I decided I'd just come in here on a whim and set up on it this morning just to see what happened. And the way I was set up, the scrape was, I was kind of facing perpendicular to this road, and the scrape was to my left, and you couldn't really hear anything, but I just, at one point in time there, it was, I think it was just before 10 o'clock, I could hear something, and I just happened to look to my right, and this doe was standing down there about 15 yards. She had popped out on a little trail, and I mean, she was there, and if I had been standing up with my bow in my hand and turned around right, I could have shot her right then. And I really believe that she was just going to go straight on across the road here and follow this little drain that she was on. And she, man, it was funny. I got these boots on right here, these muck boots, and I bought them last year, but I hadn't really worn them, and they still smell like rubber really strong. And the only reason I've got them on is because I messed around and left my regular boots in the truck the other day, and it rained, and that filled them up with water. They were just soaking wet, so I really didn't have any choice but to wear these boots. And this deer, as soon as she stepped out in the road, she smelled where I walked, and she was super spooky. And I really believe, though, that if it hadn't been for these boots, her smelling that, I believe she would have went on across the road, and I never would have got a chance to shoot her. But she hung around there, and she looked and looked down the road, and she turned and looked back up this way. And I was actually able to eventually stand up with her that wired, 15 yards. I was able to get to my feet and get turned where I could shoot her. And she finally put her head down and was sniffing the ground. And I just ever so slowly started easing back on the string. And I couldn't believe when I finally got the anchor. I couldn't believe that I had actually gotten away with it. But I shot her. I made a good shot. This is the second time I've had this happen. I guess she was so wired, knew something was wrong. When I shot, you know, that's just barely above center. I mean, it's about an inch above center. That wound is right there. But she was standing like this, and my arrow's coming down at this angle, and she dropped and leaned away hard enough that the arrow went in her, and she was laying on the ground. It's at an upward angle, and it actually went up in there and hit her spine and dropped her right there in the tracks. And it was enough to get the job done. I didn't have to shoot her again or anything yet. It put her down pretty quick right there. And I'm tickled to death to get this one, man, on a hunt where I really wasn't expecting much, you know. But this makes number 7 for the year. This is going to be bow kill number 144. And it's going to be number 45 from the Centaur. And I think can't remember. I'm having trouble remembering. I've killed 48 with a compound. So this is number 96, I think, with traditional. So it'd be cool to get to 100 with it this year. I may have a chance to do that since I'm not working. Got plenty of time to hunt and scout. I'm fixing to break her down, get her in a bag, and I got to go buy some ice to put on her. Wasn't expecting to have any. I got another spot I'm gonna go climb on this afternoon that I feel pretty good about. And you never know, man, we may bust it up.